You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid. Hi, Bron.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
No, everybody listening. It's nice to be acknowledged. So I'm saying hello. I want to hope everybody's doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. We are here Sunday afternoon, pre-recording for Monday's episode, correct?
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
Good. No, thanks for the rundown. That was good.
Wow. Okay.
No. It
is the most beautiful day.
It truly is. Except the rest of the country, it is torture.
Yeah, but I'm only talking about us right now.
No, which makes it even better. That's what I'm saying.
It makes
it even
such
better.
a great day. So we took out the Porsche, dropped the top down today. Immaculate. Bronny and I going for breakfast. And then we come out.
What happened at breakfast?
Don't worry. And we come out and not even parked under a tree, right? Because I purposely wouldn't do that. The whole fucking car full of shit.
Yeah. Like the birds purposely targeted your car specifically.
Unbelievable.
They were like, this jackass in the Porsche.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what you think. Really nice.
No, that's what the birds think, not
you
me.
Asked the birds, were you Dr. Doolittle? Tell me, how was your week in law school, and how was your
Was it my first week or my second week?
I think it's your second week.
I think this was my first week that I just did.
Don't pick.
I think this is my second week. Yeah. Wow, that's
No,
crazy.
I think that was your second week. We went back on the 5th.
No.
Yeah,
I went
look at
back
the
on the
calendar.
16th. That was my first day of school, and today's the 21st.
You went back on a Tuesday?
Yeah, because Monday was Martin Luther King Day.
Right. You're right. Wow.
Hashtag I have a dream.
Oh, my God. Hashtag idiot. I never understood the hashtag thing. I just still, till this day, just like a meme. We don't have to go into it. I never understood the stupid fucking meme and a hashtag.
Okay, well, a hashtag, when you're posting something on social media, if you put a hashtag in front of something, it groups it with everything else that is in that hashtag. So if I put on a post,
just the words, because you don't know if the hashtag exists, right?
Right, but if I make a post of us, right, and then I put a hashtag and then write podcast, that means that I'm classifying, like I'm linking this under podcast, so that if someone goes into search and they search podcast, our video will come up because we linked it podcast. So if you do if you can put hashtag Great Dane if it's a post of a Great Dane, and then you're telling the algorithm to share this for Great Dane thing. So if someone searches Great Dane, or they can go within that, it's categorizing.
So it's a way to forward your stuff.
Yeah, or like categorize it under a subject.
So why wouldn't anybody do that?
Everyone does.
Every time.
Every time I post, I hashtag stuff.
Did not know that.
But then it became just like a fun way to say stuff because people would put like hashtags of random things just to do it. And then it just became like a fun thing to say, like hashtag dad jokes or whatever,
Got it. Got it. So how was your weekend? What did you do Friday, Saturday? Anything?
No.
A lot of work? Did you go out?
A lot of both. A lot of work, and then went out last night for Jay's birthday.
Oh, I wished him happy birthday. He turned 25,
26.
Okay, what did you guys do?
We just went to a bar in Miami, and it was cold, so it was an outdoor bar, and everyone was kind of shivering.
It is cold, guys. I'm not going to lie. It is cold.
Well, cold for us, it's like 61 degrees out right now.
It was in the high 40s this morning when I went running. It
was 50s.
Okay. Well, you can't go back and look, but 100%. It was 50 degrees at 8 o'clock. Before that, it was in the high 40s, 48 degrees.
Okay.
Cool. You calling me out a liar?
Yeah.
That's really
I ain't calling you a truther.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I had a really enjoyable weekend. Still not over. Friday night, went to some friends. It was great. Saturday, I got all my shit done. Got my work done in the morning. My friends were from California. Spent the whole day with them. We were out with bangs for hours, walking outside. Great fucking day. And then this morning, did my run. Hung out, went to breakfast, and we can talk about our incident at having a breakfast.
Yeah, sure. Let's get into that. We can talk about that, but before we do,
yes, Bronny,
because this is a good story about what happened at breakfast. There was a funny little thing that happened this week that I just wanted to share because it's funny.
Which was?
I got an email. I went to this Miami Beach antique show last week, right?
Correct. Did you buy anything?
No.
Okay.
But you have to put in your email, when you are signing up for the ticket, you put in your email, and then I guess, forward you a ticket. I never got my ticket forwarded, like, to me. They just printed it out there. So I don't know. I never got a receipt or anything.
Okay.
I clocked it for a second and then nothing. That was 2 weeks ago. On Wednesday, I get an email from, it looked like my email. And it was a forwarded email of my receipt from the antique show. And then the subject line was, "Is this you?" question mark. And I was like, wait, what? What's going on? Did I send myself this email? What's going on? And then I look closer. The email was BROSENBLOOM@gmail.com. I'm BRONSCN, right? So now I'm like,
it's a scam.
So I'm like, an email with Brosen Bloom is emailing me my email?
And no one will look at that. If you get an email from like, if someone said to me, BROSEN Bloom at Gmail, Dad, can you Venmo me? I would probably Venmo.
Sure.
But it's going to your Venmo.
And it just said, "Is this you?" So then they look, I guess this, like, because I just put in my email wrong. I forgot an N when I was typing it in for this receipt. So I emailed back and was like, yeah, like, who is this? Because I was like, we have almost the same. And he goes, "This is Barry Rosenblum. B. Rosenblum. And I'm B. Ronsonblum. And he's B, like, isn't that funny?" So we were chatting for like a little bit. Barry Rosenblum. So his email was Brosen. I thought
B. Rosenblum.
Right, but when I read the email, I was like, Brosenblum?
I agree, because your brain doesn't think.
But it was B. Rosenblum.
Wow, that's fucking funny.
Isn't that funny? And it's like, we definitely know him at some point, right?
How?
Barry Rosenblum? Come on, we have to know someone who knows him.
Why? Did you ask him where he lives? He's
No, but
some
I looked,
old Jewish guy.
Right, so of course, come on. We know all.
Is he no Jewish guy?
Yeah, I
He
looked
works
him
in
up.
a ticket
He's a
booth?
doctor at Cedars in LA. So it's like we definitely know someone who knows him. Or my girlfriend's dad definitely knows him, right? Because he also is a doctor at Cedars.
Did you ask Hannah?
She was like, she said that name sounds familiar, and then when I looked him up, she was like, "Oh, my dad definitely must know that guy."
Right, but I got to find out.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Barry Rosenblum.
B. Rosenblum is
and I'm B. Ronsonblum.
B. So it's Brosen.
There's one letter changed.
N, no N.
All it is he doesn't have an N.
So how did he get your email?
I sent the email to him. I typed in my email and I forgot to put the N. So instead of sending it to Bronsonblum at
so he
Gmail,
fucking forwarded. How did he figure it out to get it to you?
Because my name in the
is Bronson.
the name on the receipt said Bronson Bloom. So he must have just been like,
funny.
Isn't that funny? Just
Good for him though.
Yeah, just a fun little.
So did you connect with him? What else?
I just was like, he just responded. And I was like, that's so funny. Like, what a coincidence or something. And then that was the end of it. But I should like try to befriend this guy. I feel like
it might be Beshert.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, that means meant to be.
It means soulmate. So maybe it's not Beshert. Your Beshert is your soulmate.
We use Beshert like meant to be though.
No, Kismet is meant to be.
Kismet's not Jewish though.
Yeah, I think it's like an Arabic word.
It's not Jewish.
Yeah, but a lot of.
Okay, but it's not. There's Yiddish. It's not Jewish. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
No, you mean Hebrew then?
No, right. Yes, it's right.
Let me look up where this word comes from.
Beshert is used meant to be.
No, it's soulmate.
Okay, I understand that, but it's okay.
Kismet comes from Arabic. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Drop the mic.
And then Beshert is a person's soulmate in Jewish.
I get it, but
use.
you understand how laid back. Like you say, schmuck literally means penis, but you're like, you're a schmuck.
Right, but you say you're a dick. That means penis.
But we're not saying it in that way. It's
No,
like
I understand.
It's like saying idiot.
Sure. I understand.
Right, okay.
All
right.
So breakfast.
Why don't you start?
So we go to breakfast, the place that we always go. Not going to drop
first.
the name.
First, I'll get my coffee, my cappuccino. And what I say as I get this coffee, the top is down in the car. We get in the car.
He did take a sip of the coffee and he goes, "This
week.
makes me so happy."
Perfect weekend.
Yeah, he was like, "This was exactly what I needed."
Right, like a relaxing. I just enjoyed it. Okay.
So we pull up to the breakfast place. Mm-hmm. And
tight parking as it is, right? It's a tight little alleyway and a parking lot. Would you agree?
Yes. And there's a takeout window on the side of the restaurant. So people like pull up to the curb, like idle.
Most don't though.
Most don't. But sometimes people will pull up there to quickly get out, grab their takeout food.
And would I ever say anything for the most part? Probably not, because I get that. Go ahead.
And if that's the case, you like put your hazards on or you pull as close to the curb as possible, right?
Correct.
To signal like, "I'm sorry, I'm in the way," but whatever.
Right.
we park, we start walking to the main restaurant, and as we're walking by like the takeout window, we see a car just parked in the dead center of the road. Like fully in the dead center of the road.
With a dog in it, but nobody in it.
And the car's off, all the windows are up, and no one's in it, and there's a dog in there. So we were like, whose car is this? This is weird.
Stopping traffic, fucking things up, 100%, right?
It's fully in the middle of the road.
And it was more than a minute, because it was about 8 minutes before someone even got in the car.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Okay.
But at least while we were there, yeah. So then Dad's like, I gotta see who this is.
I have to see it. I have to. I'm so tired of the fucking idiots in our fucking world. I have to see who it is and say something.
And I was right on board with you. I was like, this is so wrong
rude.
Of a person
Entitled,
to do.
Rude, everything.
I wasn't even like, this is so entitled. I was just like, this is so wrong that, because you never know, especially like this restaurant and in the plate in Boca where we are, there are a lot of old people. So you never, like, I don't necessarily jump to entitled. I was like, either someone didn't know or they're old. They were.
Right, if it was an old person,
thought they were near the curb.
I would have given them the deference.
Right.
You know
but that's why I was like, I got to see who this is, just because I was like, I want to know who would do this. And then if it's an old person, you go, it's an old person. Right,
move on. Correct.
Yeah. So we waited. And then this like 25-year-old girl, probably, right? Maybe 29. Like she was definitely below 30.
100%.
She goes to get in the car. So dad right away goes, is this your car? And she goes, yeah. And then both of us, I was right there with you for this one. Both of us were like, you can't park there. Like, what are you doing? You're in the middle of the road. And she didn't really say much.
Which fueled it, which angered me more because no, it's that entitlement dismissiveness. Don't you understand that? Because if you're going to park your car like that, you're in your 20s, you leave your dog in the thing with the windows up, and you're going to be there for 10 minutes, and you don't even say, I'm sorry, and you just ignore it, that's like saying, fuck you, I'll do what I want. Don't you see what I'm trying? That's the point.
So it as Dad said, it got him a little angry, and then
it got me angry because listen, I'm fucking tired of the entitlement doing it for. If everybody doesn't follow rules and we're not organized, it's the inmates running the asylum. It's like fuck you, and of course it's that fucking generation. So my point is, it's such a disrespect. Like, who the fuck are you?
It was extremely disrespectful.
So to me, I have to. Like, Mom goes, why do you say something? Because I'm tired of it. I want.
Everyone was on board with you saying something. Mom, Bubby, me, all the people watching. Everyone was on board with like, someone needs to say something to this person. Just be like, what are you doing?
And I said it.
And I did too. I said to her, I was like, why would you park there? Why wouldn't at least pull to the curb? This curb is open.
All she had to do was say, I'm so sorry, just picking up food.
So she just was like getting in her car and she was like, mind your own business, mind your own business.
And you know me.
And then Dad, OPP. Like, it escalated quickly to the point where right away you were like, you go, some poor man is going to have to deal with your white trash ass. I don't know why you jumped to white trash. She was just like a white girl.
Because I just want to say it.
Some poor man's going to have to deal with your white trash ass and the entitlement and all this. And then that's when that got her off.
Because she's white trash.
Then she got out of her car and she was like,
do you know who I am?
Well, she was like, who are you to talk to me? You have no right to talk to me like that. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? And Dad's like, you're a zero. You're nobody.
Right.
He was like holding his hands up and his like a zero. You're a nobody. I know who you are. You're a nobody. And she was like, do you know who I am? Huh? And she holds up. So this restaurant gives out gift cards.
Let's call it ABC Diner.
Or just the restaurant. They hand out gift cards that have the name of the restaurant,
which I had, because if you for every $100 cash you get $10 off. $10, so you give a card, $100, you get $110. It's worth every penny.
So she holds up the gift card to this restaurant and goes, because it has the name on it. She's holding the name out like it's a business card.
No,
and she goes, do you know who I am? Holding this out. Do you know who I am? My father runs this place.
Owns this place.
Yeah, so then you're like, I don't care.
I don't give a fuck. Like, you're not talking to the White House. Even then, I wouldn't give a fuck.
And she's still like, you have no right to talk to me that way, blah, blah. And now everyone's like watching and involved in this. And then she gets back in her car.
No, so then Mom gets mad at me.
She didn't get mad at you. She said, John, you're right, but stop it. Stop it. Because you were like, oh, shut the fuck up, you white trash piece of shit. Get the fuck back in your shitty car. Like, you were.
I never said that. That's not even true. I never said get back in your shitty car.
You were not helping.
There is.
You were 100%.
I never said that.
You were cursing. And it's like when someone's in your face saying, do you know who I am? You just don't say anything.
No, I laughed. Don't you say I enjoy it. The difference is you and Mom don't like confrontation.
What are you talking about? My girlfriend has to say to me all the time, hey, just leave it alone.
And you're way too young. So but my point is,
I can't win. Either I don't like confrontation, or if I do, I shouldn't.
I think that it's up to someone like me to let this.
You're doing the Lord's work.
No, right. To let this stupid fucking bitch know that she parked in the wrong place.
See, but Dad, I did too. Right away, I said to her, "What are you doing? You can't park there."
And she ignored you.
Right. So then it's like, what am I going to do? I can't accomplish more than
what
that.
I did. So continue. So then mom gets mad at me and pulls me aside.
Mom didn't get mad at you. She grabbed your arm and she said, "Stop.
You're embarrassing me."
She said, "It's too much.
You're
Just
embarrassing me." I'm like, okay.
She was trying to de-escalate, which is what should have, because it was escalating. And it's like, you're a 55-year-old man. She's a 25-year-old.
I'm a 56-year-old woman.
She's a 25-year-old.
By the way, next week I'll be 57, guys.
Congrats. She's a 25-year-old girl. It's like nothing good can come out of an older man yelling at a young girl in public. It just doesn't look good.
I don't give a fuck, but go ahead.
But you should, I feel like, a little bit.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your opinion.
You're respected in Boca. Okay. That can lose respect for you.
Not really.
Why?
I don't agree with you. Why would it lose respect for me?
I think if we saw...
And the podcast wouldn't lose respect for me?
I think if we saw an older man yelling at a young girl at a diner, we'd be like, what's he doing?
By the way...
We'd be like, just leave her alone.
By the way, I should be more concerned about the podcast than what happened in that incident. Continue. So what happened? So now I'm talking to mom, you and Bubby.
She went back to her car and
we
were just trying to be like, okay, it's fine, it's over.
I didn't say a word. I was talking to you and mom, correct?
And then she came back out of the car.
I had my cappuccino in my left hand. It was so good. She walks out of the car.
Hand?
Well, I'm saying, I'm explaining this.
Specifying your left hand.
I want people to understand what was transpiring.
Okay.
So I can't see her because I'm talking to mom now, and I figure she's back in her car and she leaves. She apparently gets out of her car. Thanks, go. She gets out of her car, comes over. Remember, now it's done. I'm over with it. The whole thing, the whole dissertation's over. She comes over, smacks the coffee out of his hand. Smacks my hand.
Yeah, and the coffee goes everywhere.
So
onto a third party, a woman standing there.
So now I go, I own you. I'm calling the police. I'm getting you arrested.
And other people got involved too. Now other people were who got in this girl's face.
I didn't see that. Did they do that? I didn't see that.
That guy who said he was a cop, and then that girl, they got in her car. They were putting their fingers in her car. You can't do that. What are you doing? You just hit him. Get out of here. What the fuck? You have no right to hit someone.
I'm almost on Social Security.
You're geriatric. That was elder abuse.
Elder abuse, 100%.
Yeah.
So then I could have not been any happier. So I said, I'm going to teach this girl a lesson.
Which now, this is where I was on board with you for most of it.
I'm just telling a story.
And I'm just sharing my opinion.
But there's an end to it.
Okay.
There's an end to it. Meaning
you're going to pat yourself on the back. Is that what the end is?
No, I'm not patting myself. I don't need to pat myself on the back.
I think you do because you said it 7 times.
I'm doing
You were I did such a good job.
I'm doing it to tease you guys.
Yeah, sure.
Seriously?
Okay, continue.
Seriously.
But you're doing it to tease us by sharing it on the podcast? You're doing it to
tease
me?
You said, we'll tell the story on the podcast. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Please continue.
Thank you, Bronny. So I said, you know what? Fuck her. I think she needs to be taught a lesson. I'm going to have her arrested. The police come, 2 cop cars. So I guess they have to by law, 2 cop cars, whatever. White Brady.
Yeah, it's better. It's safer for them.
I talked to the guy and he says, listen, you could say whatever words you want with her, between you and her. That's not a crime. But the minute she came out and she came in contact with you, that's assault.
Actually, battery.
Listen,
contact.
Okay,
assault is no contact.
Okay, so then
B+ and torts.
Okay, okay. So what happened was, we're dealing with criminals, so let's not do with torts. Just the civil battery.
Dad, but her hitting your hand is not criminal. But that's a tort.
But under the penal code, that's if I sue her civilly. I'm talking under the penal code, which is different because it's a jurisdiction to go ahead and.
But I think it's a criminal battery.
No, but if I sue her for my damage under civil battery, that's the tort. Mm-hmm. I understand, but on the criminal, it goes under the penal code because the state the authority to go ahead and prosecute under the penal statute.
Right, but I think it's still a battery because it was contact, not a tort, not an assault.
Okay, so what happened was, I'm talking to police. They said they're going to go question her, whatever it is. And you want to have her arrested. So I'm like, I do, but I don't. I don't want to fuck this girl's life up. She's young.
Why do you want to have her arrested?
I wanted to teach her a lesson. Okay, so next time she'll think about doing what she did. The world doesn't revolve around her. She can't pull a car right in the middle of a fucking street. You have to have some accountability, and you have to follow and live within the society rules and guidelines. So I wanted to use it as a teaching lesson. I've taught you kids based on whether people do stupid things or you do stupid things as a teaching lesson so you can learn. So I'm thinking as a parent. So I said to the cop, are you a parent? He goes, yeah. So I said, you know what? Can you at least He goes, well, she will be arrested. So if you want to prosecute. So it's like 5 minutes. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to fuck with this girl's life, but can you tell her that she was wrong and she would have been arrested? But because he's a parent, he doesn't ruin your life, but he hopes you learn from this incident that you could have been arrested. He goes, I will tell her that.
We should call you Jesus Christ for how teaching, like your humanity teacher.
Not. We should not. I really, there's a part. Wow, I know you are.
I'm teasing like you are.
But I because I don't know if you're that fucking whacked. And then we went into the, then we went to the restaurant.
Apparently she has issues. This isn't her first incident.
Right.
The waitresses in the restaurant were
who
like,
know us for years.
Yeah. They were like, oh, well, what happened out there? And we were telling them and like, oh yeah, that girl is a problem. She always like,
her dad is best friends with the owner.
Yeah. So her dad isn't the owner.
Correct. Which then when I heard that, I'm like, I should have gotten the bitch arrested.
And they said she always, every day she comes, she always tries to bring her dog in, and they've told her every single time she can't bring the dog in. Then she lets the dog eat off the plate. And they always say, you can't let that happen because then we have to throw the plates out. And she just still does it. So apparently she is a problematic person anyways. The waitress said she thinks like there's something mentally wrong with her, which I got that bit of a sense too.
Okay.
Which then also is like, oh, it makes me feel a little bad too.
I don't feel bad.
She also did say, funnily enough.
Funnily? Is that even correct?
Funny enough.
Okay. Funnily enough.
She said something, you were saying something and she was like, oh, just shut up, you and your white privilege. She was a white girl too.
Right. That's hysterical.
White blonde girl. Like in her 20s.
In a new Nissan. With like a one of those mixed poodle breeds.
No, it was like a lab.
Like a black and white Labrador.
Yeah, no, but it was like, what's the dog that is the herding dog? The really border collie. It looked like a border collie to me.
Okay,
that's what it was like. A lab border collie mix is what it looked like to me. It was actually a good looking dog.
But so that was the incident.
Yeah,
and mom's mad at me, but she'll go. She's over it.
It's just like if it was someone else, or like if it was us in that situation, and we were watching someone go through that. Right, we were watching a middle-aged man yell at a young girl, and then he turned around and she like knocked the cup out of his hand, and he told everyone, he was like, I'm going to call the cops, get her arrested. I think you would say to me, like, really, over a fucking cup of coffee? That's so ridiculous.
But the difference is,
I think you would.
I was involved in the actual incident, so I'm the one that felt it and said, I want to teach her a lesson. If I'm just looking from an outsider, you might not be, not the big deal. But but on the same token, like, who the fuck is she? She's like, imagine. I
think
chaos.
she got issues.
All right, ain't my fucking problem. Then don't drive. Don't fucking be like an asshole and a fucking bitch and think you'd run the fucking world. And then hold it, say, my dad owns this place. Like,
I mean, that was funny. She held up a gift card and it was like, do you know who I am?
Even if her dad. So I said, I don't give a fuck who you follow. Like that, really? I'm a fucking 57-year-old successful guy.
And also like,
so do you know who I am?
Let's say her dad is Mr. Blank, the name of the restaurant.
Shit? It's not.
Would you be like, I'm sorry?
Then I'm like, great, I'm going to get free gift cards for food.
Or it's like, then I don't come here anymore. I don't give a fuck.
Fucking idiot.
That's a weird,
so fuck her. So that's an entitled.
I agree, fuck her. And that's why I even said, I was like, what are you doing? You can't park there. But then like to be yelling in someone's face in public is just like.
Hey, Bryce tells me about a lot of fucking stories about you in fucking car with your road rage.
I don't yell at people.
Chill out and relax.
Okay, by the way, I was in the car this weekend on Friday. I was driving.
I'm a lot older than you, could back it up more than you. You need to relax.
Right, and I'm learning, okay? Right, because I'm about to tell the story. I was in the car. I'm going through Brickell, which is always bumper to bumper, full on for 3 blocks, bumper to bumper traffic. There's nothing you can do about it. It is the way it is. There's a stop sign to make a left onto the main road. So I stop at the stop. There's actually a car in front of me. And as I'm pulling up to the stop sign, there's a guy in an old shitty Nissan, funnily enough, a guy in an old shitty Nissan that he's like far behind me. I can see him coming up. And the reason I notice him is because he's flashing his light.
Oh,
not
God.
Once or twice. Boom, 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 flashing me. And I haven't even, there's still a car in front of me at the stop
there's
sign.
nowhere to go.
So it's like, what are you doing? So he's flashing and then he gives a little honk. Beep, 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 beep. Like he's in an insane rush. So I ignore it. I get to the stop sign, I make a left. He's right behind me making the left. Like he doesn't wait at the stop sign. He just goes with my stop.
Yep.
And
Again,
then,
okay, rude, entitled motherfucker.
right. So right away, I'm like, fuck this guy.
Correct.
So when we both get on the main road, he gets around me and speeds up. The problem is you can't get anywhere because
Right.
it's bumper to bumper.
It's in the heart of the city.
So he speeds up, but like he doesn't get much
Right.
further
You're
in
at
front
the
of me.
same spot as him.
So he's waiting behind a car and I'm pulling up and I roll down my window because I'm like, I'm going to say something to the guy. In my mind, I'm like, I'm just going to roll down my window and say, hey, bro, you need to fucking relax. We're all in this traffic. So that's what I had in my mind and I was ready for it. And as I pull up, I was like, wait, what am I doing? There's no point to this.
I agree. And
this
I don't
is
want you, as a
dangerous.
parent, I don't want you doing that.
Right. So
what if he says the gun says, fuck you, I'm doing what I want to do?
Exactly. So as I pulled up, I was like, clearly this guy's not mentally stable anyways. He's flashing me from 50 feet back at a stop sign.
Maybe his wife is pregnant giving birth.
No, because there was one person in the car. I ended up seeing him. So as I pull up to the back of the car.
meaning at the hospital, he had to go meet
Oh,
her.
maybe, but it wasn't that. It was just, he was an asshole driver. And my window was already down. Like I was prepared to say something. And as I pulled up, I rolled my window up and I said, you know what? There's no point to this.
Proud of you.
And that's growth. I was pretty proud of that.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. So I'm working on it.
Yes, but you're also 27, which you should not be upset. I'm also going to be 57, different.
That if you don't get upset at someone doing that, you're a loser. Like, how could you not get upset at a
should get
car?
upset.
Right, exactly. So you said you're 27 and getting
proud
upset.
Of you I'm saying
Not
meaning
reacting.
Right, I don't want you reacting just
Yeah.
for safety and everything like that.
Right, and that's the only reason why I stopped doing it was for safety. I
Good.
wanted to do it because I wanted to be like,
I
this guy's
get
an
it.
asshole.
I
but I was
don't
like,
blame you.
what if he has a gun?
Right, I don't blame
And there's
you.
just no point to that.
And I'm proud that you didn't do it. But I get it. Those people fucking. If we all just bite our lip, then we're gonna live in chaos.
This episode is brought to you by Manscaped, getting you ready for one of the most important holidays for your nether regions.
What's that? Kwanzaa?
Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is one of the few holidays that society kind of tells you, hey, your junk's going to be seen by a woman. Hopefully. That's like the goal of the holiday, I feel like.
Or your junk to be seen by a man.
Sure.
Clean that shit up.
Yeah.
Put that runway or whatever it is you need to do.
Or even as the woman, your junk's going to be seen by a...
Clean
right.
that, because no man wants that shit out like it's all over. Like you got to trim the hedges.
No one wants it on either side.
Right, correct.
So Manscaped's got you covered with that. They have all the products you would need to make sure that you are prepped and primed for
Because
Valentine's
people
Day.
think Manscaped just for men. It's not.
No.
Just saying.
And it's not just for men to get themselves. It makes a great gift for a woman to get a man, a son to get a father to get a son,
Right.
a
And-
wife to get a husband,
Correct.
husband to get a wife.
Very though tricky, interesting. If your husband got his wife a Manscaped,
I don't know if that
you
one
send
works.
the message like clean up, baby,
But wife getting a husband
all
great
day
thing.
long.
So
Right.
this Valentine's Day,
I got your tires and Manscaped.
this Valentine's Day, make sure you have all the right tools. Manscaped's got their great new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This thing is, I thought the 4.0 was like great. This one is so much better. The quality of it. I love the skin safe technology that they have is even better than it was before. The charging is even better. There's more lights on it. So you can get down in the caves down there and you can see you have a great light on it.
It's a great product. It works great. It's well made. It feels good. I love the electric razor, Ron. I never use an electric razor but this is a great thing on the go. It's awesome. It's compact.
Yeah, the
It's
handyman
fun.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
for
I don't
your
know the
face.
names of them. That's what.
Yeah, that's the handyman.
Shit's fucking great.
Yeah, that's like their portable razor.
Doesn't irritate.
Yeah, their stuff's great, and they have so much more than you even like. A lot of people just think they're the tools, but they have a lot of like lotions and body deodorant, ball deodorant.
Underwear.
Yeah, they have great stuff. So go to manscaped.com, check out all their products. Make sure you have it now before Valentine's Day so you can be ready for that shit.
And you get a discount too.
Yeah, so when you go to manscaped.com, if you use the code DaddyIssues20, so DaddyIssues20, you'll get 20% off and free shipping on your entire order. So you're helping yourself out, you're helping your partner out on Valentine's Day by trimming, and you're helping the show out.
And you benefit.
You're helping the show out by supporting people who are supporting us. It keeps the support flowing. So once again, go to manscaped.com, use the code DaddyIssues20, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
No, I stand behind what I did.
I do too, but there's just a certain point where it's like, okay, what are we doing now? There's no point to this
but
anymore.
I like it. I like combo. I know I like it, but I hear you.
I'm always like on the verge of stuff like
But
that.
I don't
Like,
want you as your parent. I don't want you doing it.
yeah, no, but there's always times where like I'll say, if there's something that should be said, I'll say it. Like if someone's like holding up a line or the worst is when someone just stop, like a group
in front of a
people,
door.
in front of a door or in the middle of a sidewalk. They just
there's
stop.
nothing worse to me. And I say something every time.
I say something every time. I'll either say, excuse me, or I'll say, you can't stop in the middle of the road. And then I'll keep walking.
Correct.
And I say it every time.
The door's the best one.
And my girlfriend is like, oh, come on, don't say it. Like, she's like, don't say that, whatever. Even though she like feels it. Like, she feels like I'm justified. She just is nice. So she's like, don't say it.
Say Mom.
But we were at a store the other day.
Brian, what is more fucking rude and entitled that I'm going to stand in front of a fucking doorway and stop people from getting around me? Okay, that says I don't give a shit about anybody else.
Sometimes people are oblivious, and so that's
a different story.
When that happens, I go, excuse me, just so that they know.
Or you get to some stupid person who's just in the left lane, doesn't know they're in the left lane. Right.
And you can tell the difference.
You 100% can tell the difference.
And that's why when I can tell that it's, it was an old person, or something's wrong with them or whatever, or they didn't know. Because sometimes I'll stop in the middle because I'm like, oh shit, I got to respond to this text. And then I'll see people walk around me and be like,
but you say I'm sorry.
Or if someone said excuse me, I'll be like,
I'm sorry. That's my point, because everybody can have their moment or make a mistake.
Right.
Even when the coffee's on the ground, what did we do as a family? We made sure nobody slipped and we stood over it.
Yes.
Most people aren't doing that. They don't give a fuck. I think people are fucking assholes.
Yeah.
And I need to let them know they're fucking assholes.
Right. Same. I
and
agree.
Mom
though.
says, why do you tell them no? Because that's my personality.
But that's also what a society is. We have to not correct. We have to call out bad behavior.
Bring it to the right.
You have to call out bad behavior.
Fuck.
But now it is dangerous a little bit.
Yeah, but fuck her.
But we were at a store and there was this woman. We were like checking out and there was one line because, of course, there's only like one cashier working at the store.
Of course.
On a Saturday on Lincoln Road.
Of course.
You know, it's like, are you serious?
Lincoln Road's disgusting.
Yeah, it is. But we had to go. We were like there for a specific store that she wanted to go to, but then we like walked around, you know? And so there's this one woman.
Don't you feel like you know the country when you're there?
Yeah.
Thank God.
We were there and there was this one woman who was checking out and the line, she was there for so long that the line kept backing up. Eventually they called another person and we went around, but this woman was there and she was like shopping at the front. She had like a pile of 30 clothes and she was like, okay, yeah, here, this one. And then she was like, wait, do you have this one in a large?
Oh,
and
no,
she was
fuck
shopping
that.
Fuck
that.
So I was like getting so worked up about it. But then another cashier came and we went around, right? So then we were sitting there and the whole time we were checking out, this woman was still doing that.
There.
So my girlfriend turned to me, she goes, okay, she was like, I want you to say something. This is one time. She was like, you always want to say things. This bitch is bothering me so much that I want you to say something. And I was like, nah. Right. It wasn't as fun when she wanted me to. I literally was like, nah, just let her be. It's fine. We already have our cashier. Yeah. We're about to get out of here.
But isn't that nerve of that person?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Same like the chick at Zara with the hangers.
Chicken Zara with the hangers?
The chick at Zara with the hangers working the front. She goes, sees the line. She goes, I'm on the bags.
No, but okay, so let's talk about these things.
That was the bag.
Okay, so we're in Zara. This episode's hilarious. Just an episode of complaining about.
By the way, people,
shit.
I'm fucking 100% right. I want you to DM Bronson. I want you to flood his fucking DM and tell him whether I'm right or wrong.
So we're in Zara, and there's a long line starting, right? Like we're in line,
and there's 4 people ahead of us, right?
Yeah. And there's again one cashier in Brickell City Center, one of the most popular malls in the country right now, right? And Zara. So it's like you should have 7 cashiers. So there's one cashier checking out a woman with, again, a huge stack of clothes.
But she wasn't shopping. She's just buying it.
Right. And then there was another woman who worked there who had like 20 shopping bags and she was like organizing them. Something like that. Wait.
So she's behind the cash register, behind the counter, and she's literally organizing Zara paper fucking bags.
And there's a huge line that's building up.
Now, I want to give you that. It's this young chick with a fucking nose ring, acne, and
see, what does that mean?
As liberal, laid back as you can get, because it's just I'm making a cultural judgment on the liberalism because she had no ability to think on her fucking own. Okay? Now continue.
So Dad gets out of line.
No, I wasn't rude.
I didn't say anything.
Good.
You can't. It's unfair to preface that. You're tainting the jury.
No, because I step out of line and walk up to the front.
Right. I didn't get. That's all I said so far. You step
out
of line.
The way you said it. Good.
I said Dad steps out of line. He walks up and he says, "Do you think you could open up another register? There's a line forming." And she said, "Yep. Just let me finish with these bags first." And you said, "Don't you think that the bags can wait? There's a line. Don't you think the line's more important than the bags?" And she was like, "Oh, okay, sure." And Then she was like, yeah, I'm just going to finish this up and then I'll open a register. So then that gets back into line. But he says out loud, he doesn't say to us, he says very much out loud, he says, you can't teach this.
Correct.
It's stupidity.
No, I didn't say so. I said,
you said you can't teach. Oh, what did you say? Something, and he was doing it like he was only meaning to say it to us, but he was clearly at a volume that everyone in the store, including this woman who was standing 4 feet away from us,
she needs to hear it.
You were like, you can't teach that. Wouldn't a normal person think that the line's more important? Kids nowadays, something like that.
But to say the response, they weren't, it wasn't.
But it's like you already said something to her. No. You don't need to insult her.
No, I'm not insulting her. I'm teaching her. It's a teaching moment.
You're teaching her by saying, you can't teach this?
Let me explain something. It's not like it was fucking ice cream that has to go in the freezer or ice cubes, okay, with 100-degree weather out there. The bags could fucking wait.
Right, but she's working at Zara.
No, okay, but listen,
don't expect her to be Stephen Hawking.
Wrong. Stephen Hawking, who wants to be him anyway?
Yeah.
But the thing is this.
Diddling kids and shit.
It's common fucking sense. She's working the register. They only make money if the revenue comes in and people don't, they move those lines. So
but you're not her manager.
Okay, but I'm a consumer.
But what do you think now she like every time she works at Zara, she's like, ooh, I got to think about when I'm putting my bags away.
But I still felt good saying I will say it and do that again.
And then we're walking back to my apartment. We're in the garage going up to my apartment and we're in the elevator and the elevator is very crowded. So with Dad standing in the back of the elevator.
We talked about this already? We talked about this.
No.
Okay.
Dad's standing in the back of the elevator. And a girl walks in, girl my age, with a backpack on. And you know, when you're in a crowded elevator, especially when you have a backpack on, you have no idea what's happening with it.
Yeah, they do.
No.
Yeah, they do.
In fact, in Japan, there are signs all on the subway that says, if you're wearing a backpack, please wear it in the front.
I agree with that.
Because they're literally signs because it says you don't know who it's hitting. And in Japan, it's like, that would be so disrespectful to hit someone.
Yeah, and I agree.
So people literally switch their backpack into the front.
So far, you're supporting my position.
No, but what I'm trying to make the point is that when you're wearing a backpack in a tight space, you don't know what's going on with it.
You should know. Well, you do know when somebody's behind you and you can't get back any further, that means your bag must be hitting the person, not the wall.
So she gets
Wait, am I wrong with that? If you can't go back any further because you physically can't do it and there's someone behind you, your bag is connected to that person, not the fucking wall. Continue.
She gets in and she like steps back and her backpack is leaning on Dad. It's like resting right up on him.
And I need that?
So no. But he goes to her, he says, I can't have your bag touching me. That's exactly what you said of her baby.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
You said, I can't have your bag touching me.
Correct.
And she looked around, she go, oh. And then she like tried to readjust it. Okay. 6 seconds later, it like touches you again. And now you push her.
No,
bag.
You push gently. That's not
There
push.
was contact. Wait, you touched the bag.
The bag was on me.
Right.
It's in my space.
No, I know, but you didn't push her. You touched the bag.
And gently moved her forward. Gently moved her forward a little bit.
Otherwise known as a push.
No, a gentle glide and guidance. It's not a push.
Okay.
It's a big difference.
You put your hand on the bag and you moved it.
Gently.
Okay.
A half an inch off me.
And then she like looks around because she's like, what's going on? And you're like, you can't have your fucking bag touching me. You cursed at this point.
Yes, I did not.
Yes. And then she looked back and she was like, uh-oh. And Bryce and I are like, Dad, stop. We're in an elevator. And then I think you realized that you were wrong because you like laughed. You were like, I already have her on me. Like mom was leaning on you. You're like, I already have her on me.
No, I said I have this old bag on me. I don't need her bag either.
Yeah. So you like made a joke.
Right,
and
but
then
it's okay.
And then the girl like laughed about it.
And then we smiled when I left.
And then 2 days later, or maybe even that night, I was in the elevator and that girl was in the elevator and she goes, I have to ask you a question. I was like, yeah, what's up? She was like, what, is your dad okay? And I was like, yeah, and she was like, I thought he had bipolar or something because he was so angry and then he was laughing. And I was like, yeah, I mean, he's weird. I don't know what to tell you.
I have to evict you guys. If you're not going to support your landlord.
Two comments why I wanted to bring all these stories up. One, like now your antics are affecting my life directly because now people in my building are like, oh, that guy.
Wait, whose building?
I'm on the deed.
Wait, but whose building?
It's not your building.
Did you put a dime into it?
Yes.
When?
Paying the mortgage off.
No, you're paying the mortgage. You're paying rent. You're sure.
Wait, you don't really think I put a dime into it? The money that I paid for rent, where's that going?
Wow.
Wait, but that's
whoa. Whoa.
How is that not putting a dime into it? I don't understand.
Do me for rent somewhere else and I'll get someone who really pays rent.
No, but genuinely.
I subsidize you.
Sure, but you didn't say are you putting all of it? You said a dime.
You have not put a dime into that fucking owning that property.
That's unfair to say. That's unfair.
You pay rent.
To towards the mortgage.
No.
That's putting a dime
No,
in.
not towards the mortgage. What I do with the money is my business. That's different. That's not towards a mortgage. No.
My name is on the mortgage and the deed.
I did that for the benefit of you, not for the there's no benefit to me.
I'm not saying
put a dime.
I'm not saying there's a benefit.
I'm not affecting your life. You're affecting my life because
I'm so sorry.
Let me explain. You don't have to apologize, but let's be true with the facts. It's a deficit to me. It's a liability because I can get more rent and it will cover the mortgage and the association dues and the insurance and the taxes instead of it costing me $2,000 a month. So it doesn't affect your life. Okay, you might say it might be embarrassing to you.
Yeah, that's affecting.
Okay, but I'm your father. Be proud of your father.
No, but because this leads to the other point I was going to make. Like, that's old man behavior. Like, you're becoming an old man when you're doing that. Like an ornery old man who's like, get these kids off my lawn. That's what that is.
No, there's a difference.
I don't want you to be that way.
Okay, I appreciate
because
that.
I don't think you are. Like,
okay, I think like that.
You should still be youthful, not like a curmudgeon-y old man.
I'm not curmudgeon, and I am still youthful.
You're on that path.
No, I just know what I want, and I don't need a fucking girl backing up in a crowded elevator that wear backpacks on me.
No one needs that. No one needs that. So you're not.
You're worse than me at 27 than when I was at 40. Let me see where you're at when you're 57.
When you say, I don't need that, it's like, of course you don't. No one does. But then no one needs to be like, get your bag off me. Okay. It's like, just let it be. It's an elevator for 30 seconds. You can survive.
Okay. I survive a lot. Some things bother me.
A lot of things bother a lot of people.
Right. So you don't
But it just is what it is.
I'm around a lot more things that are more bothersome. I've been around it longer. So therefore, I have more patience. I've dealt with more, but I have less patience in certain things.
I think your patience has worn thin in the last couple of years. That's I guess.
Yeah, because people are fucking retards and stupid. I'm fucking over it.
I know, but that's like, you don't want to be like a curmudgeon-y old man.
No, what I want to be.
You want to be like a person who's like, things don't bother me.
What I want to be. Really, it's coming from the pot calling the kettle black. But
that's what I'm working, because I don't want to be a curmudgeon old man.
What I want to work at is less people around and have more time to do what I want to do with people that I care about. So I'd rather not be in a crowded elevator.
Right, but like, don't you...
If it was up to me, I'd have a private elevator. How about that?
Okay, that's not anything... Okay, sure.
I don't think I did anything wrong.
I just think it's like, it's very like... old manish, and I don't want you to be that way, and I don't think you want to be that way.
Like,
be like a complaining old man.
When you're around me, is so terrible that I'm like a crotchety old man?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying this to help you. I'm saying in the last couple of years, like even like I just don't think, because you know when you think of like an old man, like a bitter old man, and they're like always like complain, like get these kids off my lawn, that vibe. It's like you look at that and you're like, oh, I don't want to be that, right? Don't you think that?
I don't think I'm a bitter old man.
No, I don't think you are either. I'm just saying you're like,
some things trigger me.
Like that's how I rolled the window down and then I was like, wait, nope, I don't need to be doing this. I just think that's something we should all work on.
I agree with there's no harm in working on it.
Yeah.
But I'm objectively, I don't think I am a crotchety old man. I just think this.
I don't think you are. I think
you're things I don't like.
You're one step on that path, and it could be a slippery slope down that path. I feel like it could be very easy for me too. I have that inclination. We'll have to wait and
see then, don't we?
I think me and you have that inclination to lean towards like complaining, not complaining, because we don't complain.
Less tolerance.
Right. And it's like, if we take a step on that, like I think Bryce, his path towards that is not as slippery as ours. We could easily fall into that. And so I think I'm like, I don't want to fall into that, so I'm working on it.
So, and I think that's a good move, and I kudos to you, seriously. But I think
like Bryce and Mom don't have that. Me and you do.
But a couple things. So let's talk about that. So number one, I think that when you talk to a lot of middle-aged or older guys, they have less tolerance. Generally, I mean, we were out with our friends last night for dinner. We spent all day with them. Most guys I talk to have less tolerance. When they work for 30, 40 years, being told what to do by whether it's their boss or society or their spouses, they have less tolerance as they get older and realize that life is shorter, so you don't want to deal with shit you don't want to deal with.
Understandable.
So that's something that, don't get me wrong, but someone that's younger might not understand just yet.
Of course.
Okay? So when you reach a level of success and you realize life is short, you want things your way. So things could trigger you more easily than, let's say, if you were in your 20s. That's just the way it is.
And that's justifiable.
Now, let's take Mom, for example, or these women, for example. I think they have the same, they might have a little more patience, but they complain in private. So it's still
but
Okay, fair enough.
That's the whole thing that we're talking about. Yeah. Like I'm bitching to you now about the car honking behind me.
Fair enough.
But I didn't make a scene about it with him himself.
But I know, but I don't mind making a scene. Isn't that terrible?
I know, but like when you were yelling at the girl in the parking lot.
Fuck her.
No, I agree with you. Fuck her. But it's like when if we watch someone else do that, we'd be like, what is he doing? That's embarrassing.
You're right, but
he's a man.
So then what's wrong with me that I don't care what people think? I don't care. I'm being honest with you.
No, but it's not it's not what other people think. I'm saying for you. Do you want to be the person that like people are like, what's he doing? He's an old, like that's kid shit.
Okay, if someone said, look
let
at
someone
that
bother.
dick, someone said, look at that dick, I'm like, all right, I don't care.
I'm not saying about other people. I'm not saying for other people. I'm saying for yourself. Do you want to be, what's his name? Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino? Do you want to think of yourself as that type of person who gets bothered by everything and freaks out and nothing? Or do you want to be the type of old man who's like zen and content and happy? Like
I am content and happy.
No, I know,
I hear you.
But if you're doing that, it's just like
I do hear you. But
because it's a choice made to like.
No, but it is. But I need you to understand that. And I'm being sincere.
I'm the same way. So that's why I'm saying I'm not saying like you're bad. I'm saying I do the same thing. I have the same inclinations. But I don't want to be the type of person that's like the bitter old man person. So I when I feel that coming on, I'm like, okay, wait, it's not a big deal. Okay. This girl's backpack is touching me in an elevator, but I'll be out in 1 minute.
But Bronny, I don't.
It's not because other people.
No,
it's for my own self.
I don't mind it. I don't mind what happened. I still don't. I hear what you're saying, and it's like fun, makes fun story and whatever. But I don't mind it.
Sure, you don't mind what happened. Sure,
I don't mind even the way I behaved.
So would you not, like you said, I'm not a curmudgeon old man, right? You don't think of yourself as that.
I don't.
Do you want to be that?
No, but I don't think I was a curmudgeon.
So then not minding that's what will happen.
Then maybe I'll end up becoming one.
But you don't want to be. So then why are you accepting that? That's the point I'm getting across. If you are saying, I do not want to be a curmudgeon old man, but you're letting yourself be one, then there's something wrong there. Unless you want to be one.
I don't think I'll become one.
If a girl's backpack at an elevator bothers you to the point where you have to curse, that's curmudgeon old man behavior.
I curse with everything, though. All I do is fucking curse. I curse. That's what I do. You think it's that? It didn't aggravate me that caused me to curse. I curse. That's just who I am. It's nothing's changed.
Okay,
you
then
know that.
The curse isn't a big deal, though.
It didn't bother me where it ruined my day. It didn't get me angry. It's just I said what's on my mind. It was on my mind. That's what I did. That's who I am. I say whatever. That's why people that like me or don't like me. I just say it. I hear you. I do want you to
understand. And I say that how it is.
I do hear you. I want you to understand that. I do understand
I'm saying for the betterment of you and
saying,
for me.
You're not saying anything wrong. So I'm not trying to shut you down or say you're wrong. I'm just trying you to understand a little bit where I'm coming from in my mind. So someone like Mom who might get upset, we have very different personalities. I don't mind those things. Like when I go into court or fight or I argue with somebody, it doesn't ruin my day. I actually...
Very different in court.
But even if I
part of the job is that
I know, but there's a difference. Though somebody I like. I know it's gonna sound sick, but I like confrontation. It doesn't bother me. I sort of enjoy it. I like the art of it, the game of it. I don't know, something. It's like the spark. I don't mind.
I know, but when you think of like old men, because it's so easy.
I hear you said it, Bronny. I do hear you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up. Was it something different? Because we're saying I get it. You're 100% correct in what you're saying, and by the way, and I will take your words seriously and try to mellow.
Because I try to do that with my own life. I'm like, what type of man do I want to be? Do I want and it's not about what other people think, but like when you're your own person, when I'm a person out in the world and I look at people, I meet people, right? I interact with people. There are some people where I'm like, damn, I respect that guy. Whatever he's doing, his honesty, the way he's holding himself, what he's been able to do in his life, build the family he's been able to create. That's respectable. I like that.
Yeah.
And then there are other people where I'm like, I would
never do that. Right?
What a loser. Or that behavior was so childish or immature. I can't believe that person calls himself a man. Like you look at, and then I internalize it. I'm like, what kind of man do I want to be? And then I think about that and I have to like fight with my own behavior sometimes to be like, that behavior is not the type of person that I want to be.
And I think it's very respectful. And I think that's very wise of you. And it's nice as a parent to hear you speak like that you recognize that. I think that's great stuff. But I think at some point, and what you're saying is good, so I'll try to learn from that because you're right. Everything you said is positive. There's not one negative or bad thing you said for me to grow, have even further growth. But what if you like who you are? Like, I mean, like, what if I say, I like who I am? And there's also a part of me that says, for years, you do for everybody, you work for everybody. I'm not trying to be selfish. I'm not saying, it's not from a, don't pity me. That's not what I'm getting at. You deal with the clients. You're constantly dealing with stress. You're working all the time. Everything, your life is everything, billables, this, that, whatever. Everything's scheduled for you and whatever. And you get to the point like, you know what? I want to be a less, like, I'm going to speak my mind. And do what I want.
But like, you're like, I want to be more myself. It's like, I always do all these things for other people. I should do things for myself. It's like, what? That involves yelling at a girl in an elevator? Like, that's not doing something for yourself.
That's not, okay. That's what I'm saying. Not literally doing something for you. So I'm saying, say what you want if you think you're right. Do what you want if you think you're right. And just, if you like who you are, then that's it. Period. That's what I'm getting at.
For sure. And I would hope that everyone would like who they are.
Well,
but
most people don't, but okay.
Of course. But that's why I was just saying, like, what kind of old man do you want to be? Like, you don't want to be a complaining, bitter guy. But so if you like yourself.
But if I don't get to do what I want to do or be me hypothetically or say what I want to say, or for example, I might have the person that says, for example, if we were there, mom was there, if she was there at the time you and I got there, I would say, I'm waiting to see what I'm going to say to mom. Like, no. That's mom's personality. So it lets us.
And how is your life better by having said that to that girl?
Okay. Much better.
Why?
Because listen why. If I listened to mom, and she wasn't there at the point, and I walked in and I kept doing that year after year, month after month, year after year, whatever, and I didn't, then I'm not being me because I'm a kind of person that says, I'm going to call that fucking person out. That's who I am. You can't change that.
Wait, but so if
I don't want to change that about me.
If there are parts of someone's personality, but I agree, people should be who they are.
But I don't want to change that person that way about me. Mom would want me to say, don't say anything.
Are there parts of you that you would want to change? Just to get a barometer, right? Because if you're like, I don't want to change that part, but if there are other parts that you want to change, then that's fair. But if there's no part of you that you want to change or better, then it's unfair. Then there's no backing to that argument.
No, there is. What if I like who I am? I felt like change enough. I mean, we can always grow. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying change. I'm saying better.
We can always grow 100%.
Because everyone has character traits and everyone should be happy with who they are. And if you're not, you should change that and work on yourself. But every single person also has flaws to their character that should be made better.
That's not what I'm talking about. I agree with you. But I'm talking about something
But what if like Jeffrey Dahmer is like, I like who I am.
No,
I like murdering people.
You understand... but he's a sicko who's a sociopath.
But you saying I like fighting with people, yelling at 20-year-old girls.
That's not what I said. I said I am the kind of person, if someone's doing something wrong, whatever it is, and things like that, I want to call them out. I think we live in a society, and mom would be like, nah, don't worry about it. Just don't say anything. Let's go eat. They're different person. Not one's right or wrong. But I'm saying if you stop me from doing that, it will make me a curmudgeon old man because I'm not being who I am. I'm just saying I have a right. Someone could say, I don't like him. He's a dick. I would never say that. Or what about people? You and I, if we don't like our meal or our seat or our table, we say something. 95% of people won't do it.
I know, but Dad, there's also a big difference between being like, can I get another table? Like, I don't want this table. This isn't what I asked for. Can I get that table?
And they say no.
Wait, no, but there's a difference between that and being like, this table is fucking terrible. I need another table now, right? Like there's a big difference between speaking your mind.
But it doesn't get like that at the beginning. It escalates to various things.
There's a big difference between speaking your mind and being confrontational.
Yeah, but
but
it doesn't start off confrontational.
But like even the elevator
doesn't start off confrontational.
Like the backpack on the elevator. There's a big difference between being like, do you mind moving your backpack? And I can't have your backpack touching me. It's a big difference.
But here's the big problem. You're right. There's but
they're both speaking up for yourself.
You know what the girl should have said? I'm sorry, and it would have been done. She didn't acknowledge nothing. Like it becomes my problem.
I just don't think. First of all, she's English second language. She has a very thick.
Oh, that
she might not have understood you.
She understood me because she said to you point blank, "What's wrong with your father?" 2 days ago.
But it was out of the blue. I think at first she was like, wait, what? What's going on?
She would know what to do. And everyone says, I'm sorry. In every language, you could say, I'm sorry in English. My point is this. when I went over there and you said at the very beginning with the car situation, I was very nice. She fucking dismissed like it was nothing. Like, who the fuck am I?
I don't think you were very nice.
Bronson.
You were even at start,
Okay.
but right away it escalated to not even.
Bronson, I've been in situations where like I might have pulled out of a parking lot, almost hit somebody. I'm like, sorry. Like you feel it's called human decency.
Yeah, no, the girl was wrong.
So if she said I'm sorry, it would have been over. If the girl at the again,
elevator.
she didn't do anything intentional going in the elevator. So I agree with you what you're saying about that. But if she said I'm sorry, it's great, I would have ended it. But to look at me and then turn her head back around, like who the fuck? Like, don't you think as a grown man, like fuck you. Period. I'm not fucking tolerating. That's why, like, I'm not flying fucking coach. I'm not. There's a certain thing when I get to a level, ain't fucking working for me. You don't understand because of your age. But what you're saying, I want you to know, I agree with everything you're saying.
But you're also,
I agree with everything you're saying.
You. But I think you also live in a world, at least like your worldview, and it's not.
I created my own little.
And it's not
world,
necessarily wrong, but you're like, I can do these behaviors, but if someone else does them, they're wrong. I think if we were in an elevator and my backpack, hold on, let me finish this thought out. I was in an elevator and my backpack hit someone, and I was like, let's say I had my AirPods in or something, so I didn't hear them. I turned around and looked and someone said, "You need to get your backpack off me." And I looked up, and then I looked back, and they were like, they put their hand on my backpack and like nudged it. Let's say, right?
Even that, wanted it off.
If you were in the elevator and you saw that happen to me, I think you would be like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing to that person?" I think you would be like that. And then if we talked about it, like let's say we were on the other side of it and we came on this podcast to talk about it, I think you would say, that guy, who the fuck was he to think that he did that?
I have different rules for
my
kids.
But when you do it, you say, I am justified in doing this. This is behavior that I do not want to change. But if it's someone else doing it, you're like, they should not be doing that.
No, first of all, I'd have a double standard when it comes to my kids. That's just the reality. You're going to feel that way when you have kids.
I don't even think with just your kids. I think just with how you think about behavior.
No, Bronson, I don't agree with you. I think about behavior all the time. I mean, this is what I do for a living. I'm successful with it. I deal with people. I deal with cause and effect all the time. I deal with people's problems all the time, and I resolve them for them. I'm not saying I'm perfect, and sometimes my behavior could be a little bit out of line. But in the same token, all these people, see, the world has gotten so callous, so disregard, and in all my years of fucking dealing with it, you do get fucking fed up and you want to go postal. When people don't acknowledge and just say, I'm sorry, it diffuses it. If you're, I've been in a situation where I've gotten heated and I realize, and I say, I'm sorry after the fact. That's what you do. It's called human decency.
Yeah.
When people escalate them because they think they're right when they're clearly wrong, fuck that. I'll go fucking postal all day long on those people. Seriously, I don't, because I like it. I don't give a fuck. I will fucking be the one to teach them a lesson. I'll be their worst fucking nightmare, those motherfuckers.
I know, but I think you're not necessarily wrong, but I think if...
And Pa was like that in many ways.
Okay, but that doesn't justify it.
I'm saying, but I'm not justifying.
But I'm sure there were plenty of times where Pa did something and you were like, this is wrong of him.
That's normal. Yes, it is. Of course, that's normal. That's right, called
but
life.
So that doesn't... But you saying Pa did that, so I, like, yeah, that's what...
I'm just saying that's what my upbringing.
Okay.
And that's why I'm just giving you a little background.
Right, but that doesn't
but
justify it.
No, but by Pa being strong made me be strong to say, I'm going to say something to that person.
But there's a difference between being strong and being unreasonable.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't think I was unreasonable. When that fucking bitch doesn't say, I'm sorry, then you know better. Coming back now, thinking about it, I should have had her fucking arrested. I would have taught her a lesson. Okay. Fuck her. Because there's no accountability. There's no apologetic people out there. There's only about what's best for them, their entitlement. They don't give a shit. They fucking step over you. They fucking piss on you. The guy behind you with the fucking car flashing. It's all about them.
Yeah, but if it was me, if I parked my thing and then some random 50...
You would have said sorry.
Let's say I didn't. Some random 57-year-old started yelling at me and trying to like teach me a lesson, because you're saying she needs to be accountable. I need to teach her a lesson. Right, that's you admitted that.
Go ahead.
So someone else was like, I need to teach this guy a lesson to me. And then I told you that story. You'd be like, fuck that asshole. He needs to mind his own business. Who is he to teach you a lesson?
There's a difference why.
I think we would think that. And I think we would be justified in thinking that.
But because you're my son and I'm trying to protect you, so I'm not thinking rationally. It's like a lawyer that represents himself as a fool for client. I want to protect my son.
Fair enough. Okay.
But if it was objective and you look at the situation and the person who was, let's say, you calling me, let's say, hypothetically, I'm the aggressor in this.
I'm not saying aggressor.
I'm saying hypothetically, right? I'm not saying you're saying that.
She was definitely in the wrong.
If she just said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I would look like a dick if I kept going. It's all about owning your mistakes. Mistakes are made by people every day, and I'll continue to make mistakes throughout the rest of my life. But you have to learn from them and own them. When she said, you don't know who I am, right there, I love that because I'm not give a fuck who you are. That shows the entitlement.
Yeah, definitely.
So fuck her.
No, I agree. Fuck her. She was in the wrong.
Should have had her arrested. All right, Ronnie, but I want I do hear you. I don't want to become a crotchety old man.
And that's why I'm saying I don't think you do. So I'm just bringing it up.
Okay. I don't think I am, but I hear what you're saying. And I do have a strong personality. There's no I'm an acquired taste. We know that. But you do know that when it comes to my family, I always have their fucking back. I hope my family still likes being around me. I don't want to be one of those people they don't. And I think I'm good to the people I care about. And I know it sounds weird and this is going to sound terrible, but I don't care if I have more friends or not. I love who my friends are. I love what we do. And as I get older, I want to spend less time with the bullshit and I want to spend more time with my kids, my grandchildren.
Every single person agrees with you. Every single person feels that way. No one's like, you know what?
But I'm not looking to be a people pleaser, or some people are.
Yeah, but when you're like, you're saying like, I don't want any more bullshit. But it's like no one's on the other side of the issue. There aren't people that are like, you know what? I want more shitty bullshit in my
Bronson,
life.
Bronson,
everyone wants
that. No, that's not
true.
true.
But I'm saying that's not a justification for bad behavior.
That's not true. What I'm saying, you're saying, because when I say
people want worse lives,
no, but again, stop being literal. You meaning people get caught up all the time with going out till 4 a.m, the bullshit. Their family's not important. Kids are not important to them. Or quantity is over quality. Most of the people are like that. Bronson, that's most of the fucking world. They care about what people think about them.
That's not bullshit. Okay. Caring about what people think about you is not a bullshit
the likes on
thing.
social media.
Okay, that's bullshit. That's different.
That's
but no one wants that. Everyone thinks that's bad.
Nah, you'd be surprised.
No one is like, yes, this is actually good for my mental health. Everyone thinks social media is bad, but they're sucked into it.
Okay, well, that's just justification of sucked into it. Okay. And as you get old, you'll understand. I don't mean to be.
I don't not understand. I understand everything you're saying.
You relate to it more is what I'm getting at. That's what I mean. I don't mean literally understand. Of course, I meant you'll be able to relate as you get older. And I don't mean to be one of those guys that, you don't get it because you're young. Because you are very bright and you do get what I'm saying. But as you get older, have life experiences, and you see that time, like when I talk to my friends that are my age and a little bit older, all the time we talk about how short life is. The conversation has changed so much from 5 to 8 years ago. Now we talk about how fast life goes because we look at our kids who are now going to their phase when we remember 30 years ago, like our kids are going to get married, have grandchildren, and we have parents passing away. So all these things that we think about retirement and have enough money. This is what men do. You go in various phases and chapters in life. Mm-hmm. And at this chapter of life, I would say a good 35% of my conversation with most of my friends, it's the same thing. How fast life goes, we can't believe it. And we need more quality. So these are things that when you get them, so you have not a negative, less tolerance, less patience on doing things or you don't want to, or that you don't want to do, or biting your lip.
Of course.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I understand that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's all. So, all right. I love you. Are we doing follow advice or no?
No, we'll
all right. All right. Love you. Take care, everybody. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.